At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
I earned my degree online at Arizona State University. I chose to get my degree at ASU because I knew that I'd get a quality education, they were recognized for excellence, and that I would be prepared for the workforce upon graduating. To be associated with ASU, both as a student and alum, it makes me extremely proud, and having experienced the program, I know now that I'm set up for success. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Is This Adulting, a weekly conversation between two best friends navigating adulthood as overgrown man-children. I'm best friend number 1, Stephen Pappas.
And I'm best friend number 2, Chris Grimmett.
First off, we want to thank everybody so much for listening. Without you, we would just be two weirdos talking into microphones, which we probably still are, but at least someone's listening. So
That's true.
So, since this is our first episode, we just want to tell you a little bit about what you can expect from the show. So, Chris, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about what this is about?
Sure. Yeah, so Steven and I have known each other for about 10 years now. We were roommates for 3 years in college, just to kind of give you like an idea of our dynamic, so it's real sweet. In our conversations recently, though, we've kind of been realizing that we don't always feel like we're doing this whole adult thing very well.
No.
And we kind of realized a lot of people can kind of relate to that. And so we decided just to kind of start the show, not really as a way to explain to anybody how to be an adult, because obviously we couldn't necessarily do that, but just as a way to have a little bit of fun and navigate life together and with our listeners. So this podcast is going to be a conversation. Each week, each of us are going to bring a topic to the table to discuss for your entertainment. We'd also like to bring in listener topics to the table as well. So if you have a topic that you'd like to hear us talk about on the show, then please contact us either on our Facebook page, or you can shoot us an email at isthisadultingpod@gmail.com.
Right. And these topics can be absolutely anything. Nothing's too serious. Nothing is too silly for us to tackle. One week we could be talking about Batman and why he has so many Robins, and how Carrie Kelly is pretty great as a Robin, but Dick Grayson is the only Robin that is rightful, what with him becoming Nightwing and such. I'm a nerd, can you tell? And then immediately we could be talking about, how we're coping with an issue that we're grappling with that week, something that's really weighing on us, something that's hard. So nothing is off limits here. With this being the first episode, we'll just briefly tell you a little bit about ourselves. I'm going to start. My name's Steven. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina with my wife, Katie, and my way too big dog, Ghost. I'm a huge nerd, if you couldn't tell from my previous comments, so that's bound to come up pretty often.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean a huge nerd. We're talking video games, comics, wrestling, just the whole 9 yards. Yes, even wrestling. So it's going to get nerdy sometimes. I also am the creator and writer of the Lateral Entry blog, which you can find over at lateralentry.wordpress.com. It's a blog I wrote just chronicling my journey to be more open with my struggles about mental illness, which is something that I'll get to in a second. But what about you, Chris?
I live in Winston, North Carolina with my wife and my dog, who's not quite as big as Steven's dog. We've lived here for not that long. Just recently had a career change, which has been both exciting, but also, as you can imagine, pretty stressful.
Right.
So I work in the mental health field. Me, my wife, and my dog, we are all on anxiety medication. So just to give you an idea of what type of house we're living in, it's pretty stressful all the time. So mental health is important to us as well, and it's something that we're taking very seriously in this stage of our life.
Right. Absolutely. That sounds like a fun household, too.
It is the most fun. The home with the most meds. Can I get an amen?
I don't know. I don't know. I've got just a tray of meds in there that we could compare. So
yeah, we won't.
I have one of those old man pill boxes. But anyway,
Oh, the one with like the ones with like the each letter for the day of the week type of thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, AM
that's
and
so
PM.
adorable. AM and PM. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'm a 65-year-old man stuck in a 27-year-old's body.
That's fair. Hey, at least it's working.
Oh, I love it. But so now that you know a little bit more about who we are, we're going to start off the same way we will every week with a mental health check-in. Mental illness is something we both struggle with, clearly, as we've been talking about. I personally have a panic disorder. I suffer from chronic depression. My father passed away about 3 months ago, and so since then I've dealt with PTSD and agoraphobia. So just really a lovely cocktail of mental illness that I've been dealing with both recently and for my whole life. What about you, Chris?
So mental health is something that, like I mentioned before, is important to me and my household, but also it's important to my whole entire family and most of my community that I surround myself with. I've struggled with a lot of anxiety over the years myself. I was a larger kid growing up, so you can kind of imagine what that is like. But it's kind of surrounded so many of people in my life, and so that's why it's important to us. And in general, as a podcast, good mental health is something that's very important to both of us. So each week, we're going to not only talk about other things, we're going to not be afraid to bring this up, and we're going to check in with each other and see how we're doing. So with that being said, Steven, how's your mental health been this week?
My week has been not so great. Right now, I am kind of coming off a few panic attacks here in the last few days. It has been just one of those weeks where the anxiety is trying to take over, and that's not been fun. But I was able this week to, like I said, agoraphobia has been a thing lately. I haven't been able to get very far from my house. I was able this week to chaperone a trip with young adults, and I spent an entire night out of my house, and I only mildly panicked once. So that's
good,
at
though,
least
man.
something.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, right. It's improvement. So this week has been overall not great, but it kind of ended pretty well. So that's good. What about you?
You know, it started out like a pretty good week, and then lately things have been kind of like going on a dive, man. Like I mentioned already, my dog has got some real heavy anxiety, and it's like such a stress. You know, it's not like we have kids or anything, but in a small way, this is kind of like a child for us, and he is just constantly stressing himself out. We're having to be cautious because he's obviously making the neighbors upset when we're gone, and so a lot of times we kind of feel like we have to be stuck in the house, which obviously can just be super draining. And I mean, you know it more than I do. You're talking about being agoraphobic, and it can just be an exhausting, defeating thing. And so
Right.
Overall, it's been okay, but it's been struggling towards the end because, you know, I'm cared for someone who's really struggling right now, and that then adds to your own anxiety. So,
Right.
Okay, but let's hope that maybe next week can be a little bit better. I think that's sometimes a good motto for all of us.
Yeah, that's always the hope. Now, a big part of our goal in doing this is to break the stigma on mental illness. So often there is this negative idea of people with mental illness and this word that I've tried to kind of take back lately of being quote unquote crazy. And I really dislike that is kind of a derogatory term now. So in an effort to break the stigma, we really want you to be involved as listeners as well. So if you want to send us your brief mental health check-in every week, or let us know if there's any way we can encourage you during the week, please, just like with topic ideas, email us at isthisadultingpod@gmail.com.
So like Steven said, we want to encourage people the best that we can, but we don't also just want to soak in our own stress and anxiety because we do that already so much. So we also want to be having some fun. And so something that we're going to be doing every single week is kind of before we start discussing whatever topics are on our minds or are on the listeners, we're going to have some fun by just trying to do some funny segments we've been working on. So just as a way for us all to laugh and not take ourselves or the world around us too seriously. We all need a little bit more joy in our lives, and we hope that by goofing around with us, you'll pass that on to others. So that being said, buckle up, get ready, because we're about to begin.
So, let me tell you something. Here at Is This Adulting, we care about people, and we want them to find love if that's what makes them happy.
Of course.
Sometimes you're out somewhere. Let's say you're at the most romantic place in the world, which
Where's
we all
that?
know is where. It's Taco Bell.
Ooh, yeah, that is pretty nice.
Yeah, it is. So you're at the Taco Bell. I'm getting my deep, very white voice going here.
Oh, that's perfect.
So you're at the Taco Bell,
Mm.
and you order your cheesy gordita crunch box. Good choice. Got that Doritos Locos taco on the side. not as good of a choice, but still a good choice.
Sure.
So you're sitting there and you lock eyes with somebody across the room. Maybe you're being smart. Maybe you're preemptively gathering your sauces so that you have sauces for your meal later.
Mm-hmm. Intelligent.
Maybe when you do that, maybe your hands brush up against each other and you share a spark. You share a moment.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. But then what happens? They call your number, cheesy gordita crunch meal. You grab it, you walk out the door, and you may miss your chance at love.
Oh, with that person forever?
I know, exactly. So we are here to make sure that you have a shot at finding that person. So we're going to read the best misconnections we can find on Craigslist every week.
Yes.
In hopes that the two people can reconnect. It's a segment we're calling, oddly enough, Misconnections. So, Chris, you want to hit me with one of those?
Oh, do I? You don't have to get me started. Hey, Stanley. Can you hit it for me? Ooh, okay. That's an interesting beat we got going on. Okay, I think I can work with this. Let's go. Oh, yeah. This goes out to all you lovers out there. The first misconnection is a letter that's written to You Farted in Trader Joe's. All the way in Danbury, Connecticut. This is what the letter reads. You were the tall brunette with a near perfect body that farted in the bread section last night. I was the tall guy next to you that looked over and asked, was that you? You quickly replied, no, of course that wasn't me. You almost seemed insulted that I would have asked. But as the stank grew, you continued to deny your flatulence. However, it was quite evident. I tried to get rid of that stench by waving 2 loaves of ciabatta bread into the air. You then proceeded to storm off in a very angry manner. Girl, you are beautiful, even though you're a liar and fart like a Clydesdale. However, I'd love to meet up sometime. Love, Lonely, in aisle 3. Steven, I don't know about you, but my advice would be, girl, swallow your pride and maybe a Pepto and give this man a call.
You got another one for me?
I smell love in the air. No, that was just your fart. The next letter is titled, Our Eyes Met During a Bank Robbery.
What?
I know this is a long shot. I was behind you in line when the robbers came in and shouted, hit the floor. You, tall, lovely, earmuffs, holding some kind of automotive tool. Me, tall, yellow jacket, with a fresh haircut. Our eyes met under the desk. I picked up your purse, the one with that odd spoon in it. And we chatted about how dumb the Republican candidates had performed in the debates the night before.
Oh, saucy.
I know. I asked for your number, or I would have asked for your number, but, I was shy. Besides, the gunman had told me not to move and be quiet. After that, we lost our wallets, and you smiled. I smiled back. I think we made a connection while losing our credit cards. So if you see this ad, please tell me what bank and what color sneakers I had on. I hope you
Oddly
see
specific.
this. Love, put your hands where I can see them, 'cause they're missing a ring with my name on it.
Oh.
Steven, I've never been in a bank robbery before, but I've had my heart stolen a few times. So this one goes out for you two. I hope sometime this week you get jumped by the love bug.
Whoa.
Get down on the floor and into my heart. That's all the time we have for today on Misconnections. But until next time, I wish you nothing but peace, love, and pure sexiness.
All right. If anybody is still left listening after that.
I don't know what you're talking about, Steven. that was inspiring a nation to go out and find love.
It was beautiful. I was kind of hoping, though, that, one of the guys was going to be the gunman who was just like, our eyes met at the robbery. All you could see was my eyes.
What a twist. Oh, my God. That'd be a really sneaky way, though, of, like, if you're the cops, just saying, yeah, sure, we totally bonded over that.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You just catch him. I didn't think about that.
What color sneakers was he wearing, though? I mean, that seems oddly specific.
That was pretty specific. But, hey, we hope that they found love.
Well, maybe.
Well,
all right.
okay.
This is the part of the show where we're going to go into our topics every week. So with that being said, I guess I'll go first this week, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
All right. So this week I want to talk about something very, very serious. We're going to bring it down. I want to talk about ghosts. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to talk about ghosts. Do you believe in ghosts? How do you feel about ghosts? Are you scared of ghosts? What do you think they are? Like, just your overall kind of feelings on it. And then I can kind of share mine, because I don't think mine are really a secret.
Okay, well, clearly you have some form of opinion if you named your dog Ghost.
That was after a Game of Thrones character that has nothing to do with the paranormal.
Okay, well, I apologize for making that easy one-to-one connection. My bad. Let's see here. Like, my opinions? So I think I did a little bit of research on this because when I first started thinking about Ghost, I kind of had like a two-pronged approach, so to speak, okay?
Okay.
One, I don't really believe. However, if anything seems creepy, then all of a sudden I believe. So really, I think it's more of like I believe by convenience or not convenience, or in that case. And so I didn't really feel very comfortable with that. So I tried to do a little bit of like more research on trying to understand what in the world it was. And things started freaking me out when I went on the internet and typed in, "Are ghosts real, dude?" Then I kind of had a little bit of a panic attack and had to calm down a little bit. All right, so there is this video on the internet of this woman in Ireland. I don't know if you saw this or not. It's got like millions of views on it.
Probably.
Where like she is in her apartment and she said all of a sudden, like, she walked in and this is what was happening, and there are lights flickering. There are like desk and chairs and things just moving like 50 feet across the room, and it was super creepy. And immediately I had to like throw my phone and run and just like take a little bit of a deep breath and maybe just go and watch something on TV for a few minutes to get my mind off of it, because it was weird. So I mean, I could probably be convinced either way. So what are some of your thoughts?
Well, you sound a lot like Katie. Her whole idea with it is she chooses not to believe, because if she lets herself believe, then it scares her.
Katie, your wife?
So, Katie, my wife, yes.
Yeah.
I may have mentioned that earlier. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's a lot like that is what I'm kind of picking up off of you. Me, personally, I'm going to send you so many videos now of like ghostly things. Like there's one at Disney World at the Haunted Mansion that like a bunch of people have seen of like, there's this video caught on security footage of like what looks like a guy just like walking through the gate and like out onto the water. Like looks like he's just walking on the water all Jesus.
Whoa. At the Haunted Mansion in Disney
I know
World?
It's a little on the head, but people have died at the Haunted Mansion at Disney World. It's Disneyland actually, I think.
What how have people died?
Oh, well, some kid slid below the bars because he wasn't tall enough and, like, got decapitated on the ride. This was years ago. Yeah. And so there's been a couple, like, mechanical issues and things over the course. I mean, Disneyland's been open for, do not fact check me on this, like 60 years, 75 years, somewhere in there. And so it's just like things happen, like, over that time.
Has there been any other place where people have died besides the Haunted Mansion?
At Disneyland?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. Dude, no, you need to Google, like, deaths at Disneyland. There's, like, 2 or 3 deaths a year at Disney parks. You just don't hear about it.
So if people are constantly dying, the only place this ghost chooses to hang out with is like, ooh, how convenient, an inclusive spot just for me.
Maybe he thinks it's, like, a day spa or some sort of resort for the paranormal, for the afterlife.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Continue on with this very skeptical sounding story, but I'm here to
No,
support you.
no. That is the story. It's just like video footage. There's just every once in a while there's a video that like okay, so for me, I consider myself an open-minded skeptic.
Okay.
I try to kind of debunk things, and like the shows on TV like Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures and Ghost Lab, like
those are so funny. It's just people running in like rooms that are completely just no lights are on. That's what they're doing for like
I like to
25
refer
minutes.
to those shows as "What was that?" because it's legitimate. Like every 30 seconds, like they'll turn around, they're like, oh, "Did you hear that? What was that?" And it's just like, it was probably the producer like clapping his hands behind you. Like it could be anything. So I don't buy into that a lot of times, but I do think that like it's a little naive and a little arrogant of us to think that like there's nothing else out there other than the physical, what we can see playing. And I'm not getting religious. I'm not getting spiritual. I'm just saying like there's so many things that are so hard to explain. And so for me, like, I like to debunk and look for the facts and try to find the things, but I also sit back and I look and I go, I mean, I can't explain this. Maybe there's something else. Nobody can seem to explain certain things. And so like for me, I 100% like believe in ghosts and believe in spirits and like the paranormal and that sort of stuff. So much so that like I listen to a podcast. I'll give them a plug, like History Goes Bump podcast. Like you should check them out. It is a history podcast that does the history of haunted places. And I've done research for them, and I've been on the show guest hosting, and like I don't know, like some of the stuff that I've talked about and I've seen and the places I've been, like there's some stuff that it's just like, I mean, even if it's just a feeling of just like unease, just like something's watching you, everybody knows that feeling. Like, and so I feel like, I don't know. For me, it's definitely something that I believe in.
Okay, so I got a slightly different direction that I want to take this.
Okay.
And so clearly you have a lot of information and you've done some research on ghosts in the past.
Right.
Here's my question. Why are there just ghosts that are like mean and trying to like be spooky? Like why aren't there more ghosts like the equivalent of Casper?
No,
you know
there's definitely spirits that are not quote unquote malevolent. Like there's spirits that are not malevolent or demonic. Like I completely believe that there are like good. Okay, so like the legend up in Boone, where we went to school at Appalachian State, there is a big house called the Moses Cone Manor.
Okay.
That is about 10 minutes outside of town. You know it.
Yeah,
we used to take freshmen up there and scare the hell out of them at night.
I did not go.
You didn't because you were too scared.
Of course I was. I'm embarrassed to say that, but continue on with the story.
Okay, so the story goes that Moses Cone, who was like this big philanthropist, millionaire guy here in North Carolina, he passed away. He's buried about a mile from the house. There's a path up to the graves. Okay. And the graves were disturbed in the 1950s, or not 1950s. I want to say it's 1970s. It was later 90s, but or not.
A very important aspect.
You know what I'm. Words are hard, dude. It was like the late 1900s, somewhere in there. But the grave was disturbed, and ever since then, there's been these reports of people saying like they've seen this figure that has led them from the graves down to the house, almost like a guide of just like helping them out in the dark at night. And so like I don't know if that's true or not. Well, it's all hearsay.
I guess that's fine, but this is not what I'm getting at. Like I don't want like a super quiet ghost that's just walking and you follow the ghost. I want like a ghost named Brody who wants to hang out and play ping pong. Like that's what I'm looking for. Like, what's up, bro? It's me. Like that's what I'm looking. I want a ghost that it's like fun to hang out with, like to do some cool pranks with. And then who would be scared of ghosts? Everyone would want to be hanging out. I feel ghosts have given other ghosts a bad name if they are in fact real. I am calling on the spirits right now for a ghost to chill out.
Don't tempt the spirits, dude.
Okay, that might be true. But over here, like I don't want spirits that are going to be like scaring me. You know, I want one that's wanting to hang out, have some fun. Let's go get some tacos.
I guess. I mean, I don't know that I want any spirits, man.
But like, if you're gonna get a ghost, what ghost do you want? Do you want the spirit of Moses Cone, or do you want Brody?
Brody sounds pretty cool.
I mean, it sounds pretty awesome. You know what I'm saying?
But you have to know, I'm picturing Brody, like the character from Mallrats, as played by Jason Lee of My Name is Earl fame. So like I'm picturing
Oh,
like
that's a very
ghost
specific
of him.
reference.
Well, you said Brody, and it made me think of that. Like I'm picturing like ghost version of him, just like this nerdy comic book writer who's like a total bro, and I'm down with that. Like I can hang out with him.
I just see like Brody as this guy that plays cornhole and wears those like what are the short pants called, chubbies or whatever like that. Like,
chubbies.
Yeah, I'm just saying something like that. If that's the case, I'd be down with hanging out with Brody. But that's my issue with Ghost. And here's another thing: why are there no like romantic Ghost? I'm not saying like they didn't. Their story is not a romantic long lost love thing, but
right.
Why isn't there like you're not running into any ghosts on Tinder? You know what I'm saying? Just one that wants to hang out, just wants to be in love, is a very gentle person. That's what I.
I don't know that ghosts have mastered the app yet.
That's fair. I just see them trying to
like,
swipe, but their finger just keeps going through the thing and just makes them more and more angry.
Right, and it's like it goes to the argument that so many people make of like, well, why are there no ghosts from like 1997? Why are there no ghosts from like 2017 like that have died? Like, why don't you see like, why is it all like 17 and 1800s and
Ooh, that's an interesting point.
Early turn of the century? And I don't know, but a lot of people believe a lot of the residual hauntings and stuff kind of revolve around like places of heightened energy. And so like Gettysburg, I mean, that's about as like heightened, dramatic like as you could get. And so there's a lot of stuff kind of going on in Gettysburg. And when I say residual haunting, I mean people believe that it's almost like a memory that's playing back, and you can see it, but you can't interact with it. They're not sentient. They can't. These things that you're seeing are just repeats. It's the universe playing a repeat of what happened there. And so it's like you're watching a video or a hologram almost. It's really weird. It's really interesting too. And I feel like I could sit here and talk for like hours on ghosts and paranormal stuff. But
I don't know, man. I'm kind of with them on the whole thing though. It's like I if I'm going to meet some ghost, I want some ghost from the last like 20 years. I want someone. I want like
ageist.
Tupac. That's what I want.
Tupac's not dead, so
okay, that's fair. Fine, fine.
I believe he's alive somewhere.
Okay, fine. Well then, okay. And this is bringing up a painful memory for me. But Paul Walker,
no,
the greatest man on God's green earth. Why in the world is Paul Walker not just hanging around? Because I would love to hang out with Paul Walker.
I mean, I'm sure he is. Like, I'm sure they're talking like on the sets of like Fate of the Furious. Is that what the new one's called? I'm sure they're all like just hanging out with Paul.
Are you saying that for sure? Are you
no,
saying
I'm
that
not saying that for sure.
Okay.
I'll have to call
whatever.
Dwayne up and see what Dwayne has to say.
So interesting thing about the terms ghosting though. So I was looking up stuff on the internet about ghost, and then this word popped up that I've never seen before, and it was one of those like first moments where I kind of felt like, man, am I getting old that I don't understand these references? But have you heard of like, I guess it's like a millennial term, ghosting? Do you know what that is?
I've heard the term. I could not tell you for the life of me what it is.
And it's not like from the movie Ghost where
it's not me behind somebody like with my hands on clay,
romantically and somewhat sexually trying to form things out of clay. No,
right.
Not like that. Even though, man, that'd be interesting. But we won't get there. No, ghosting. So like the term is pretty much just like, say you're talking with someone, say you're dating them, you're texting them, whatever it might be, and then you just like all of a sudden disappear and you just start blowing them off. And next thing you know, it's like you're gone. Like, so they're just kind of been like, hey, cool, are we ready to hang out today? And you just never hear anything else again. And they just kind of like disappear. So have you ever done that to somebody?
Absolutely.
You have? Okay. So
I'm not proud of it.
So I'm making a hard stance right now that anyone that has intentionally done something like that deserves to have an actual ghost haunt them.
Don't put that evil on me.
I'm making a hard stance right now that how do people do that? Like, what is going through your mind when you're just like, I could respond.
I don't know. I mean, I was like a freshman in high school, you know? It's like it was different. It's not like me now. I had a bad back-to-back like couple of years there. Like 8th grade, broke up with a girl on Valentine's Day. Like 9th grade, kind of ghosted, I guess, away from a girl. Like 10th grade, had a girl's best friend break up with her for me. I had a rough time. Yeah, I was a bad guy for a while.
Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah, it took a while for me to grow up, and I'm still not fully there, but I'm mature in that aspect, I guess.
Man. So, I mean, what did you say to this girl? Like,
which one?
The one, the one where you had the best friend break up.
Oh, I didn't say anything. That was the last time we spoke. She thought all was good, and I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Oh my gosh! All right, if
you're listening out there and
Brody,
this sounds like me, I'm very sorry.
Brody the ghost, if you're listening out there, I want you to haunt Steven.
No.
But I don't want you to be cool. I just want you to, like, since you are a bro, I want you to play nothing but Dave Matthews.
Don't you say it. Oh,
over and over. In his sleep, all he hears is Dave Matthews. That's my Dave Matthews.
You know I'm going to walk into a room and all I'm going to be able to smell is axe.
What?
Is that I'm going to walk into a room and all I can smell is axe. I don't think that's a good Dave Matthews. No.
I don't think it's my best one either. But I mean, that's just he just. It's not great, but that's just that's what I think of when I think of Dave Matthews. Brody, sick him. He deserves it. Not forever. Just for like a solid week. Just go at this guy to teach him for what he's done. And I encourage anyone listening out there, if you know someone too who has done such a horrible thing as Steven, then I ask you as well to call on the name of Brody and ask Brody to haunt them. That's just my personal opinion. That's what I'm going for. But that's a hard stance.
I will report back to you next week and let you know if Brody's causing trouble. How's that?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
All right, I will let you know. So you want to roll into your topic?
Sure. So speaking of being a good friend or a bad friend, a good boyfriend or a bad boyfriend, something that we thought about that I thought would be a pretty good topic would be, let's talk about the television show Friends. Who doesn't like Friends, right?
Oh, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I've purchased different versions of it 1,000,000 times.
I mean, so much so that, like, I remember, like, in college, because we obviously didn't have cable or anything, we would often watch Friends, just over and over on repeat with the DVDs and stuff. So I started thinking about, I'm in fantasy football. You and me, we do a fantasy football draft together. And I thought, man, what if we did a draft, like a fantasy draft of the Friends? But look, not so simple as just being like, hey, let's do the best friends, the most enjoyable ones, and do from that. No. I want us to think deeper than that. I want us to think, what are the best characters from Friends when it comes to them actually being a good friend? On the definition of being a friend, what are the best friends off that show? And so we're going to do a draft. What do you think about that?
I am totally behind that.
Okay, and so I want to hear some of your thoughts. I want to hear some of your reasoning behind things as we do it. But unfortunately, we did do a little preface beforehand, and you got the first pick, which is hurtful. And I know who you're going to pick. I do know, but
yeah, you do.
But you just kick it off. I don't know any way of trying to trade up and get the first pick. So you just go ahead.
There is no way to get this first pick. I am not willing to sacrifice. So with the first pick in the 2017 NBC sitcom Friends draft, I will be selecting Miss Chandler Bing himself.
Gosh. Oh,
it hurts,
so
doesn't
clear. It was so clear what was the first one. Well, I mean, okay. I mean, yeah, you've taken Mr. Bing. It's Chandler if he's nasty. If you're nasty, that's how you'd call him.
If you're nasty boy, it's Chandler.
Just give some reasons. Give some reasons to our listeners why you would choose Chandler.
I mean,
number one.
Could it be any better of a pick? I mean, come on now.
Nice.
Chandler's the best friend. Like, period. Like, he's hilarious, and there's a part of me that had the thought of like, well, should I pick Chandler? Because like, I like to think I'm a kind of funny guy sometimes, and maybe I would be like insecure, like because he's so funny, I would be fighting to be funny. But then I was like, nah, like I can't let that stand in the way of the obvious first pick.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
He's a good guy to be around, and he seems like he, at his core, is like a really good person who like actually gives a damn about people. So I think he'd be a good friend too.
Okay. I think you're right. I definitely think you're right on that. And I mean, you're missing the fact that he also clearly makes a decent amount of money and is willing to give it freely all the time.
Sure.
So
I need that.
It makes sense. It does make sense. Okay, so I will take the second pick, but before I do that, I want to just give you a little bit of definition of all of the things that I did with it. I didn't just pick an order. I did a whole draft specifically for the funniest of the friends, and then I did another one of simply loyalty. What type of friend is the most loyal of the friends?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the most Chris Grimmett thing I have ever heard in my life, and you will be getting a ton of this.
Okay, whatever. I apologize for being thorough over here.
Oh, no, that's exactly what you do, and I'm the one who flies by the seat of my pants.
When you draft, you have to think about the 5 years out. So loyalty is important, especially when you start thinking back. Not all of them are always that loyal. Right. And finally, I just thought, I mean, this one sounds a little bit weird, but I kind of said like friends with benefits, but not the way that you think that I'm referring to it. like some of them they have a lot of benefits that you can get from being their friend. And so I put all those into the equation to come up with my first pick of the draft, which is the overall second pick of the NBC Friends Is This Adulting Fantasy Friends draft. And I'm going with no other than the Italian stallion.
No.
Joey.
No, how did I know?
And here's my reason why. So Joey, like when I was thinking about humor, without a doubt, I don't actually think he's the top, obviously, because you got like Chandler and stuff, but like I think he's up there in the top half. He's a very funny, just easy, light-hearted type of guy, but also like he's very loyal. You think about like he's got a big family, he's committed to them, like that's just kind of how he is. And then even from a benefit standpoint, think about this, especially later on, like sure, he gets some points dinged for constantly mooching off of you, but at the same time, later on when he gets famous, like you get free stuff all the time. You get to go to like games. You get to go to like premieres and meet other famous people. That sounds like a pretty awesome benefit to have. And so I think he's a good, steady, can't go wrong with my first pick, Joey.
Nah, that's a good pick. And so you kind of rattled my strategy because clearly, from my reaction, I was going to go with Mr. How You Doing himself. But
of course.
Unfortunately, I don't have that option now. So I'm going to move down to what would have been my third pick, but with my second pick in the NBC constantly changing name of Is This Adulting Friends draft, I'm going to select Princess Consuela Banana Hammock herself, Miss Phoebe Buffet.
Interesting. Okay, let me hear why.
Okay, I'm going to show my work here. So Phoebe, one, is in the top tier to me of funny.
Okay.
Very funny. And it's because she's so out there. She's so weird. And I'm talking like second season on Phoebe. No offense from like first season Phoebe, but they tried to make her like a little too like she's the weird eccentric hippy dippy girl, and like they didn't focus on her character.
Sure.
And so once you get out of season 1 and you realize like one, I would argue she's extremely loyal, and she's the friend when things are happening and she needs something like, oh, Rachel, you can come move in with me. Like, oh, you can. She's the one that's going to be there to help support you. And yeah, she doesn't make a lot of money, but she's creative. And I can identify with that. I don't make any money, but I'm being creative. And so I just take a step back and I'm like, I think that makes a good friend. Like, I think the conversations could be good. I think the collaborations could be good. And just having her on my team, I feel like it makes my friends team ever so strong. Okay.
So this is the first area in the draft where we are taking a big like split right down the middle of the road. Okay. I got a hot take for you. Phoebe was my very last pick.
Oh.
And not only was Phoebe my very last pick, out of my 3 main qualifiers, she was my last on there.
Why?
Let me explain to you. Funny, I mean, she's funny, but like she's not the top when it comes to funny. Loyal, I'm going to make a complete argument with you that she is the least loyal out of all.
How is she
friends.
the least loyal?
Let's think about this. She is super flaky. She's always just going off doing things, and they don't know anything about it. She's like, even in that one episode, I can't remember which one it is. She specifically like acknowledges like, yeah, I just see myself at some point just maybe not being around. Like, I think she is the least loyal out of all of them. Don't get me wrong. I think all of them are pretty loyal people, but out of that, she is definitely the least. And from like a benefits standpoint, she's without a doubt the bottom. What does she have to offer besides, like, I mean, sure, we enjoy her songs because they're funny, but if I was friends listen to it all the time, it would drive me up a wall. And this sounds crazy because I really thought at the beginning of this, Phoebe was going to be towards the top of mine. But when I really started to think it through, she just doesn't have much to offer. That's a hot take. I know some people right now are ready just to put me on the stake. I know that, but that's just science, man. I had to do what I had to do, and someone had to be last, and she was my last one. So,
all right. Well, I mean, I can't argue with your reasoning. I may disagree with it, but I'm not going to say that you're wrong. It's your opinion.
All right.
So.
Speaking of hot takes, here comes my next hot take.
Okay.
Are you ready for this? For my second overall pick, something I imagine you would have not million years said. I'm going with Monica.
Ooh, no. See, I'm going to show my hand now. Monica, bottom of all my lists.
Okay, that's fair. But let me explain to you why I think she deserves to be second.
Okay.
On my humor, I agree. She's the bottom of the list. She's definitely not as funny. From a loyalty standpoint, I mean, she's for the most part loyal. I mean, I would say she's middle of the pack. She's no more or less loyal than the majority of them. Okay. But for me, it's all about the benefits with this pick. Think about it. She's got that amazing apartment loft that almost all of them have lived at some point for so cheap. She is an amazing cook. She is constantly cooking you free things, and you're never having to pay for any of it. She is she's controlling, and that is a big ding. No doubt about it. But at the end of the day, she also is so like anal about stuff. You could easily be like, Monica, I can't do my taxes. No problem, I'll do them all for you. And she would enjoy it. Like, if you say, man, I have a really messy house. What am I going to do? Hey, I've got the perfect gift for my friend, someone who literally wants to clean in her spare time. All of those benefits for me was just it was too hard to not take for number 2. And I know that I probably should have waited on because I knew you wouldn't have picked her, but I just started thinking about it, and although she's low on the other parts, that benefits, there's so many things that are good from that I couldn't say no. What can I say? I know it's crazy, but I'm going with Monica. I have super goofy. I needed someone on the other end.
Yeah, but how grating does she become sometimes of just man, don't want to listen to her anymore. Just the way she is constantly turned she's going 100 miles an hour all the time. It's sometimes I need to cut my brain off.
Earplugs, man. Earplugs. You know what I'm saying?
That sounds hateful.
I mean, look, how many times does Joey or any of them come in, come out, get that food, and leave? Sure. Am I acknowledging that maybe I'm taking advantage of this friendship a little bit? That's possible. But at the end of the day, she is a good friend. And I mean, she's over here trying to watch your babies if you got a baby all the time. She's loyal when it comes down to it. And that's why I had to go with it. I know it's kind of crazy. And okay, I have to admit something else to you. This was not part of my what did I say? Algorithm? Yeah, there we go. That's the word. It wasn't part of my algorithm, but I did have a big crush on her earlier on.
Right? No, I understand that.
And so I couldn't help it. I had to go with my heart and my gut and my brain all in one, and that took me to Miss Monica Geller.
All right. So I guess that's down to me, and I will be deciding who gets who of the last 2.
And what a bottom 2 to have. You know what I'm saying?
I know, right? I feel there was a part of me early on that was I need to draft them both as a unit.
I could see that argument.
Because if I draft them as a unit, I feel like I got a real Dak Ezekiel, going back and forth.
Mm-hmm. I think I know which one you're going to pick, but I'm not sure.
See, that's the thing is I wasn't sure until almost this very moment.
Okay.
Because
so you've really thought this through.
Right, exactly. No, I've thought about it a lot, which one of these 2, because I figured there's a good possibility. The Monica thing surprised me.
Sure.
But I figured that our bottom 3 would be our bottom 3. Mm-hmm. I figured Monica, Rachel, Ross, they're going to be the bottom 3 of the 6.
Sure.
So then I'm sitting there looking and I'm going, all right, well, Monica's going to be my last resort just because for me, character-wise, friend-wise, I didn't take into account the cooking.
Yeah.
So now
that's
I'm just
a big one, man.
I just remember how much jam she made in that one episode.
Dude, she's constantly cooking.
Yeah, exactly. And then I realized okay, I'm down to these last 2. Both have very strong pros. Both have very strong cons.
Okay.
But I am going to pick Rachel Green.
All right. That's who I thought you were going to pick.
Yes. And again, it wasn't part of my deciding factor, but I will admit, I have thought Jennifer Aniston is extremely attractive for my entire life.
Who doesn't? Every single person, male, female, intersex, everybody loves.
And we
Jennifer
got that
Aniston.
We got that Greek connection, me and her. So like,
she's Greek?
You know, yeah, she's Greek.
Oh, okay.
It's like her original last name is like Anastonakis or something.
Ooh.
So we got that sweet Greek
Anastonakis?
Something like that. I don't know.
Check me on Aniston was a good call.
Yeah, exactly.
Does it roll off the tongue? Anastonakis.
No, but my reasoning behind her over Ross was less about her, unfortunately, and more about the fact that Ross is kind of the worst.
Okay.
Like, he's kind of a downer. Like, every time, like, you see him, and what's sad is I identify with Ross in a lot of ways. And I think sometimes I can get to be that person, and I'm like, I don't need two of that person in my friend group. And Ross seems like the kind of guy who, like, if I'm, like, having a rough day, my anxiety's real bad, he's going to try to one-up me. Like, he's just going to be like, oh, yeah, fair. Well, I've been divorced 3 times. Like,
that's totally fair.
Well, I couldn't decide what bone to put this. I was trying to make a dinosaur bone reference.
Yeah,
it didn't work.
Yeah,
okay?
That did not work at all.
No, it went from a place of being like not even a joke, just like a serious thing, to I tried to make a joke and I just ruined the whole thing.
That's fair.
But I mean, there's a lot of pros of Rachel. She is a good person overall. She was entitled growing up, but she's been through some stuff. So, like, it's just, like, watching her, like, grow over the series. Like, early on in the series, when I was watching, even as a young, like, kid watching, I didn't like her that much.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, you seem, like, really, like, you feel like, well, she's really privileged. Not that, I mean, let's be honest, all of them are really privileged.
Yes.
But it was just, she came from this place of, like, extreme, like, high money white privilege. And, like, she seemed just kind of, like, I don't know, kind of flaky, not great. But then as the show went on, you come to realize, like, she's super deep, and she's got like all these emotions and all of these like kind of aspects of her that I feel like make her a good support, make her a good listener. Like, she seems like the type of friend who you go to with an issue and she will legitimately listen to you and talk it out. And you're right, maybe I did sacrifice that with Phoebe, but I knew I'd have it with Rachel. And then if I really need to feel better, I'll just go on over to Mr. Number One Pick, and he'll make me feel a lot better with all the laughs.
Well, I'm glad that you picked Rachel, because I actually was not going to pick Rachel. Again, another hot take here at Chris Land. I was going to pick Ross, and here's my reason why.
Okay.
I think that I agree with you. In many ways, he is kind of the worst. He's super annoying in many ways. But when I started thinking about my main categories, maybe I'm the only one that feels this way, but I think Ross is really funny. I had him as number 2 on the humor. Like, I think
he's absolutely hilarious.
I think he's real funny. And if I'm not going to be able to get Chandler for funny, then Ross is the next best thing, because he is he's witty on a lot of different type of stuff. I think in that way. Plus, he has a lot of funny qualities that happen that he's not intending on, so you get to laugh at a lot of his own like faults, which is kind of just enjoyable thing that you can do with friends. Also, I consider him the most loyal out of any of the friends, undisputed, because the dude, not only did he stay with someone who clearly did not love him in his marriage, he is loyal and dedicated to his job, to his friends, to his children, to pretty much Rachel in particular for years and years and years. He's about as loyal as you can get to that monkey. Oh my gosh, who is he not loyal to? And so because of that, I had to do that. And really the only thing from a benefit standpoint, it's pros and cons. He can totally be annoying, but also he's relatable, almost more relatable in some ways than some of the other friends are, because a lot of bad things happen to him. And I mean, he's a paleontologist, so it's not like I'm not really interested in the high and fast stakes world of paleontology. So it's not like I can get a benefit from that. But I do think that overall, he'd be fun to hang out with. He's got a little bit of money and he's willing to share it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's always a good thing. So because of that, I'm okay with having Ross as my pick. So let's do a quick overview. Who are our teams again for best friends? Not from like the TV show aspect, but just as quality friends.
Right. Okay. And I want to say, first off, I 100% agree. If we had been doing like best friends, like as of characters, like who were the best characters,
yeah,
Ross was my number 2. Easy.
Okay. Yeah.
He's my number 2 overall pick. Before Joey or Phoebe, and I got into a rather heated argument with my wife about this because she thinks I'm wrong. But no, okay. So overall, my pick, and I'm going to throw you a little curveball here at the end. My team is Chandler Bing, Phoebe Buffay, Rachel Green, and I'm going to throw you a curveball. We each get to pick one bonus character. And since I am going first, my bonus character for the show, as far as recurring roles, is going to be, of course, Gunther, the coffee shop man.
Dude, I haven't had time to carefully put all of these things in my algorithm, so I'm on the spot. I'm at a disadvantage. Favorite character? There are a lot of good ones, but if I have to just go with my gut with what I'm thinking about right now, just because I think this person is really funny. Oh gosh, I'm down to 2. Which one should I do? I'm gonna do a more minor character because one of the ones I was thinking about becomes a major character later on. I'm gonna have to go with Mr. Geller, the father, because he is so goofy. He's hilarious, and his clear favoritism over Ross is both horrible, but for whatever reason, also really funny. And so because of that, I think I'm going Mr. Geller. If you're putting me on the spot, I was thinking between him and Mike, Phoebe's husband. So, but I'm staying with Mr. Geller.
Okay, so that would make your team, just to remind everybody.
Joey, Monica, Ross, and Mr. Geller. So pretty much the Geller family plus Joey, which is not which was not my intention by any means, but that just kind of seemed to happen. Now I'm starting to think maybe I shouldn't have picked this because their family dynamics are going to be horrible for
it's going to be rough. It's going to be real rough. You're going to have to hear a lot of drama.
That's fair, but that's when me and Joey just go and hang out and let them fight it out.
All right, well, we're going to put up a poll on Facebook and Twitter, and you tell us which team you think did better.
I'm not
which
feeling
team
as good
would you
about
rather
this
be
now.
friends with? Yeah, I know. People are going to vote.
I need some love. In the name
Which
of Brody
team
the
would you
Ghost,
rather be
I need
friends
Brody's
with?
help.
You want Team Steven? Of course you want Team Steven, let's be honest. Or do you want Team Chris?
Help me out. I'm insecure. That's my tagline.
There you go. All right, well, we're going to get out of here. If you'd like to send us a topic for discussion or a mental health check-in, you can do so at isthisadultingpod@gmail.com. Follow us over on Twitter nope, that's not even our Twitter. It is at isthisadulting. Find us over on Facebook, and make sure to check out our Patreon. We're currently entirely listener-supported, so if you'd like what you hear and you want to help us make this little dream a reality and you want more of the crazy, please consider clicking on over to patreon.com/isthisadulting. We have tons of cool rewards there. It ranges from exclusive content and bonus episodes to some written stuff to merchandise once we get that up and running, and much, much more. So definitely check it out. We'd like to thank the collection for the use of our theme music, The Borrowers, off their album Ars Moriendi. That's going to do it for us here on Is This Adulting this week. I've been your best friend, Steven.
And I'm your best friend, Chris.
And remember, kids, be happy, stay healthy, and go hug someone.
Because you never know. They may just need it.
Oh, sweet.
I know, so sweet. The world just needs it, man. They just need it.
Yeah. All right, bye.
Bye.